10 things women secretly crave that you're doing without even knowing it. Old Stoic wisdom. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Phen Logos Aristotle. Let's get real for a moment. The qualities that truly draw women in aren't flashy or rehearsed. They aren't about smooth pick-up lines or grand gestures designed to impress. Instead, they're the subtle, authentic things you're already doing, often without even realizing it. These natural behaviors, rooted in quiet confidence and steady presence, resonate deeply with her. Women are incredibly attuned to these understated signals. It's the calm strength you radiate when things get tough, the steady gaze that shows you're fully present, and the way you carry yourself with a quiet assurance that says, "I've been through life's battles and come out stronger. I'm not chasing anyone's approval." These are the moments that spark something primal, a magnetic pull that happens before she can even put it into words. She might never openly admit it, but these subtle cues awaken her desire and trust. They create a space where she feels safe, valued, and genuinely connected without a single word needing to be spoken. Today, I want to share with you 10 powerful things women secretly crave, things you're likely already offering in your natural way. These aren't tricks or tactics. They're the essence of old Stoic wisdom wrapped up in everyday actions. By understanding and embracing them, you'll deepen your relationships and unlock a connection that goes beyond surface level. So let's dive into these 10 hidden truths that make her heart respond before her mind even catches up. 10. You don't rush to fill silence. You don't rush to fill silence. That rare strength sets you apart in a world where many men feel compelled to fill every moment with words, often nervous or meaningless chatter. Silence makes weak men uncomfortable. They scramble to talk, laugh nervously, or change the subject, desperate to avoid the awkwardness. But you sit there calm, steady, unshaken, like the quiet is a familiar friend. This ease in silence is not just about being comfortable. It's the very essence of dominant energy, being grounded, fully present, and not needing to prove anything or win her over with empty words. When you hold silence with ease, you're holding space for her, creating an invisible sanctuary where she can feel safe, without even realizing why. This is one of the most underrated yet powerful triggers of attraction, rooted deep in old Stoic wisdom and timeless masculine presence. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor who taught, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In this context, the silence that most men fear becomes your secret advantage, a gateway to connection rather than a barrier. It reveals a confidence so quiet and strong, it commands attention without demanding it. When a man can sit still in silence, he radiates control over himself and the situation, a rare trait that women intuitively recognize and find magnetic. It's not about dominating the conversation or impressing with cleverness. It's about embodying calm and presence that draw others in naturally. In real life, this principle applies far beyond romantic encounters. In business meetings, friendships, and difficult conversations, those who can hold silence without rushing to speak show strength and clarity. They listen deeply, allowing others to fill the space, often leading to more meaningful dialogue and respect. Women respond to this because it signals emotional maturity and security, qualities that make them feel genuinely safe and valued. The legendary Ernest Hemingway once said, "There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self." Mastering the art of silence is a profound step in becoming that superior version of yourself, one who leads with quiet confidence and magnetic presence. Next time she's rambling and then suddenly stops, don't panic or rush to fill the gap. Instead, hold your gaze. Maintain a subtle smirk that says, "I'm here, I'm grounded, and I'm interested without needing to chase." This stillness will speak louder than any words you could say, creating a tension that pulls her closer, making it impossible for her to look away. Women feel the weight of that silence and interpret it as strength, stability, and genuine interest, all without you having to utter a single word. This is real masculine power in action, drawing on ancient wisdom that has stood the test of time. If you've experienced the magnetic pull of holding silence or found it challenging to stay present in quiet moments, I invite you to share your thoughts and stories below. How has embracing silence transformed your relationships or interactions? Your experience could inspire others to discover this underrated skill and bring more depth and confidence into their lives. After all, the greatest connections often begin in the quiet spaces we learn to hold with courage and calm. Comment to remember: I am calm, confident, and hold space with silent strength. 9. You don't overexplain yourself. What truly separates a man from a boy, and this is a timeless lesson drawn from Stoic wisdom, is the ability to communicate with quiet, unwavering confidence, saying what needs to be said once and then stepping back without the need to overexplain, soften, or qualify your words. In today's world, where many men feel compelled to constantly justify or walk back their statements to avoid offending or being misunderstood, this simple act of speaking clearly and then holding your ground is a powerful magnet. You don't dilute your message with "just kidding" or repeatedly check if she caught the joke. Instead, you let your words stand firmly in the air. This signals a deep inner security and a lack of neediness that women instinctively recognize and secretly crave. Most men, particularly those who strive to be nice guys, fall into a pattern of apology mode, always worried about how they come across, afraid of stepping on toes or seeming too strong. But the truth is, when you speak with quiet authority, confident, clear, and without hesitation, you convey something rare and valuable: that you have nothing to prove, no need to win approval or soften your presence to be accepted. This is what gives your words weight and substance. When a man can say something once and mean it fully without chasing after validation, it shows that he respects himself and expects respect in return. This silent assurance is magnetic because it creates an air of authenticity and strength that women pick up on immediately, even if it's unconscious. In her mind, it translates to, "This man isn't trying to please me, and that makes me want him more." It awakens a primal desire that goes beyond surface-level charm or flattery, a desire rooted in respect, confidence, and emotional independence. In the fast-paced, often hyper-communicative environment of modern life, where messages are endlessly dissected and intentions are second-guessed, this Stoic approach to communication becomes even more vital. It reminds you not to fall into the trap of over-analyzing every interaction or attempting to explain yourself repeatedly out of fear of being misunderstood. Instead, it teaches you to trust your own voice, to embrace the power of your words without hesitation or dilution. When you master this, you not only command respect, but also create an aura of mystery and strength that naturally draws others in. It's a quiet kind of power, subtle yet unmistakable, that invites genuine connection because it is rooted in authenticity rather than insecurity. Women, consciously or not, respond deeply to this kind of presence because it suggests emotional stability and a man who is comfortable in his own skin. So, the advice is simple but profound. Cultivate the discipline to say what you mean clearly and once, then resist the urge to explain or justify yourself further. This doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means owning your thoughts and feelings with a calm certainty, without the need for constant reassurance. When you do this, you communicate that you are a man who values himself and his boundaries, and paradoxically, that vulnerability in self-assurance is one of the most attractive qualities you can embody. In doing so, you tap into a timeless truth that women have always responded to, a truth wrapped in old Stoic wisdom but more relevant than ever today. Your words become a signal of strength, and through that strength, you ignite desire. 8. You take up space without trying. You command your space effortlessly, and that is your greatest strength. This presence you carry is not a loud shout, nor a desperate grab for attention. It is a steady, unshakable confidence that stems from an ancient Stoic mastery of self. You do not shrink away like a shadow hiding from the light. You do not fold your arms like a man bracing for impact, nor perch nervously as if waiting for permission to exist. No, you take up space like it belongs to you because it does. You lean back comfortably, legs relaxed, voice calm and steady, presence unmistakable. This is not about ego nor bluster. It is about authenticity, about owning who you are without apology or pretense. It's the powerful message that your very existence is enough, that you don't need to prove or posturize to be worthy. This is the kind of masculine energy that women instinctively crave. They recognize it even before they can articulate it because it taps into something primal: stability, strength, and security. Marcus Aurelius, the embodiment of Stoic wisdom, once commanded, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." You are that man when you claim your space naturally, without puffing up or overcompensating. You do not push or shove, but your presence pulls magnetically, irresistibly. Women are tired of jittery boys who jitter and are shake with insecurity, men who feel the need to prove themselves at every turn. They long for the man who doesn't need to explain or justify his worth, the man who leads quietly, simply by being. This magnetic presence is not a trick or a facade. It is a reflection of your internal mastery, your unbreakable calm. When you take up space, you create a sanctuary, a zone of strength and certainty. This is what true leadership looks like, not in some grandiose display, but in the simple, undeniable act of existing fully and authentically. In modern life, where distractions and noise drown out quiet strength, this kind of presence becomes rare and therefore incredibly valuable. To stand tall in your own space is to rise above the chaos, to cut through the fog of uncertainty that clouds so many men today. It's a direct challenge to the culture of constant proving and posturing. The power you wield is silent but unyielding. It says, "I am here. I am enough, and I will not be moved." So listen closely. If you want to be the man who commands respect effortlessly, who attracts without trying, start here. Stand tall. Own your space like the warrior you are. Let go of the ego games and the need for approval. Women crave this. They respond deeply, instinctively, to the man who is steady, sure, and solid. Don't be that jittery boy with something to prove. Be the man who quietly owns the room, the moment, the life. This is your power, your edge, your secret weapon. Take it. Wield it. Watch your world change. If you hear this truth in your bones, don't just read and forget. Engage. Like this message. Comment, "I'm claiming my space." Subscribe for more wisdom that sharpens your edge and elevates your life. Because mastery isn't in some distant future, it begins now, here, in the space you decide to own. 7. You don't flinch when she tests you. You don't flinch when she tests you, and that's precisely what she's looking for. Women instinctively put men through subtle tests, not to break them down, but to feel out the truth beneath the surface. She'll gently prod your opinions, tease your interests, or drop seemingly casual remarks designed to see if you'll flinch, change your stance, or lose composure. It's an ancient dance of human connection, rooted in the old Stoic wisdom that teaches us to remain unmoved by external turbulence. When you hold your ground, when you meet her challenge with calm confidence, maybe even a knowing smirk and a clever reply, you're signaling something powerful. You're authentic, steady, and not easily swayed. This is not about stubbornness, but about being real. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. She's not trying to trap or control you. Rather, she's seeking to confirm that the man before her is genuine, that beneath the surface of polite conversation lies a man who owns himself fully. When you respond without hesitation or defensiveness, you're telling her, "You don't control me, but I enjoy the game." This blend of strength and playfulness creates an almost magnetic attraction because it embodies emotional maturity and self-possession, qualities women deeply crave but rarely articulate. In everyday life, this means when your partner challenges your ideas or teases your passions, you don't shrink or lash out. You engage with calm humor or thoughtful insight. That reaction builds trust and intimacy because it says, I am here, unshaken and open. The ancient Stoics taught us that resilience is the backbone of a fulfilling life and relationships. This principle rings true in love too. Instead of viewing her tests as obstacles or attacks, see them as invitations to show your true self, steady, confident, and engaging. It's a dance that requires patience and a light touch, but once you master it, you'll notice a shift in the connection you share. Women sense when a man's core is steady, and it draws them closer like gravity. So, the advice is clear. Embrace the tests with calm confidence, meet her with playful strength, and let your genuine self shine through. In doing so, you build a relationship not on control or fear, but on mutual respect and authentic connection. Have you experienced these subtle tests in your relationships? How do you respond when she challenges you? Share your experiences in the comments. Your insights could help others learn this powerful dance of connection. Remember, as Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your reaction is your power. Wield it wisely. 6. You forget to text back immediately. You often forget to text back immediately, not because you're being rude or intentionally ignoring her, but simply because you're living your life with purpose and focus, like a man should. Maybe you were in the middle of a heavy set at the gym, pushing your limits and fully committed to your own growth. Or perhaps you were immersed in an important project at work, where every minute counts and distractions pull you away from your goals. Maybe you just didn't feel like responding right away because you weren't in the right mindset, and that's perfectly okay. That small pause, that brief moment of silence before you reply, actually works in your favor in a way you might not realize. It plants a seed in her mind, stirring curiosity and anticipation. She starts to wonder, where is he? Why hasn't he answered yet? Is he with someone else? And suddenly, you're no longer just a name on her screen. You become a presence in her thoughts, someone worth waiting for, someone who commands attention without even trying. When you do finally respond, keep it simple, calm and without apology. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about respecting your own time and emotions. Your unpredictability creates a magnetic pull because you aren't available on command. You are the prize she has to earn, the man who lives life on his own terms, not the man who bends to constant demands for instant attention. This dynamic reflects an ancient Stoic wisdom that teaches the power of self-control and detachment from the need for constant validation. Women secretly crave the strength because it signals a man who is confident, independent, and not desperate for approval, qualities that remain deeply attractive regardless of how much the world changes. In today's modern life, where everyone expects instant replies and immediate availability thanks to smartphones and social media, your ability to maintain that calm patience sets you apart from the crowd. It shows you are grounded, focused on what truly matters, not swayed by the noise of constant connectivity. Rather than chasing attention, you attract it naturally by valuing yourself enough to not give it away too easily. This subtle mystery you cultivate, this steady refusal to be instantly accessible, actually deepens her interest and respect. It keeps her engaged on a level beyond superficial texting and constant check-ins. So the next time you don't answer immediately, don't rush to explain or apologize. Instead, know that you're doing something powerful. You're reinforcing your value through your actions, embodying a timeless wisdom that a man's presence and worth are not measured by how quickly he responds, but by how fully he lives. In the end, it's this balance of attentiveness and healthy distance, of being present but not overly available, that creates a magnetic allure, one that women secretly crave and that no amount of instant messaging can replace. Comment to remember: I live with purpose and command my time. 5. You hold eye contact just a beat too long. You hold her gaze a beat longer than most men dare. Most guys glance briefly, then flinch, their eyes darting away, as if caught in a trap, they never meant to enter. They pretend to look at something else, avoiding connection because fear whispers in their ears. Not you. You meet her eyes head-on, unwavering, deliberate and unshaken. You hold that eye contact like a king surveying his realm, like a warrior standing unbreakable on the battlefield of attraction. Without uttering a word, you're saying, I see you. I am not afraid. I am the calm in the storm, the steady force she can't ignore. That single extra second of sustained gaze, too long for most men, does more than capture attention. It short-circuits her logical brain, bypassing conscious thought and plunging her into instinctive response. Because when a man doesn't blink, doesn't shift nervously, doesn't look away first, he broadcasts a signal deeper than words, calm confidence and absolute dominance. This is ancient primal communication. The eyes, those windows to the soul, ignite a biochemical chain reaction. Oxytocin floods her system. Sexual tension heightens. Vulnerability blooms. Forces she doesn't even realize are at work, but that her body feels profoundly. That moment when she looks down shyly, then back up, or nervously plays with her hair, that's not random. It's the evidence that your steady gaze has reached past her mind and touched her core. The Roman philosopher Seneca, master of Stoic wisdom, taught that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. You are that preparation, the embodiment of quiet power, ready to seize the moment. This isn't luck, it's mastery. In the chaos of modern life, where distractions run rampant and genuine presence is rare, your ability to hold unwavering eye contact is a weapon that slices through the noise. It commands respect. It ignites desire. It builds an unspoken tension that pulls her closer, even if she can't say why. Master this, and you master the game of connection, influence, and attraction. But it demands daily practice, relentless focus, and the courage to own your power. The eyes don't lie, they reveal your soul's strength or your hesitation. When you use your gaze as a tool of quiet dominance, you become magnetic. Not through loud words or hollow gestures, but through calm, steady authority that unsettles and excites simultaneously. The men who fail to grasp this subtle yet potent truth remain invisible, their signals drowned out by fear and doubt. Don't be that man. Own your gaze, own your presence, command the room before you even speak. This is the essence of ancient Stoic wisdom applied to the modern battlefield of attraction. As the legendary Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your gaze is an extension of your mind's power. Wield it fiercely. If you feel the weight of this truth, if you're ready to step into your role as a man who commands respect and desire, comment below with, I see you, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom that transforms ordinary men into legends. The eyes are your gateway to power. Use them like a master. Use them like a king. Use them like the unstoppable force you are destined to become. 4. You speak slower than other men. You speak slower than most men, and that simple difference holds a powerful, often overlooked key to attraction and connection that you might not even realize you're wielding. In a world where fast talkers dominate, people rushing words out with nervous energy, sounding like they're delivering a sales pitch or trying to grab your attention before they vanish, you stand apart by speaking with calm intention. You talk like you have nowhere to be, like time itself bends to your will, your words flowing slow, steady, deliberate, and measured. You don't race to the punchline or try to fill every silence. Instead, you give her the space to catch up to your thoughts, inviting her into a rhythm that feels natural and unforced. This isn't just a way of speaking, it's an unspoken signal of self-assurance, a magnetic quality that draws her in. It reminds me of the old Stoic wisdom that true strength and influence come from mastering oneself rather than trying to control others. As Marcus Aurelius said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. By speaking slower, you're showing that you live by this rule. You aren't rushing to say things just to impress. You speak when it's meaningful, and that makes your words carry more weight. The beauty lies in how this calm rhythm works beneath the surface. When you slow down, you're effectively signaling that you're comfortable in your own skin, that you don't need to chase the moment, but can own it with quiet confidence. It's seductive because it suggests stability, patience, and strength, qualities that deeply resonate with women on a subconscious level. Even more compelling is what happens when you lower your voice just slightly. That subtle drop in tone is not just a stylistic choice, it taps into primal biology. Studies show that a deeper male voice correlates with higher testosterone levels, and a woman's brain instinctively picks up on that, translating it into attraction without her even realizing why. She won't be able to put her finger on why she's suddenly leaning in closer, why she's stopping her usual interruptions, or why her breathing seems to sync with yours. But all these things happen because of the subconscious impact of your voice and pacing. Relating this to everyday life, think about how much more powerful your conversations could become if you practiced this art of measured speech. Whether you're on a date, negotiating in a business setting, or simply engaging in a casual chat, your slower, lower voice helps establish presence and commands respect. It's not about manipulation or tricks. It's about embodying an authentic confidence rooted in age-old wisdom and biological reality. The effect is seamless and natural, not forced or artificial. This principle is reflected in the advice of Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "Speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, to compel. Your power comes not from how fast or loud you speak, but from the calm authority behind your words." The challenge for many men is that in today's fast-paced world, we are conditioned to fill silence quickly and talk fast to prove our worth. But true magnetism comes from the opposite, the ability to slow down, to listen as much as you speak, and to let your voice be an instrument of steady confidence. This practice connects you deeply with the moment and the person across from you, creating a rare and valuable experience of genuine connection. When you do this, you're not only appealing to her subconscious, but also demonstrating a form of emotional intelligence and presence that many overlook but deeply desire. So here's my advice. Start becoming aware of your speech patterns. Practice slowing your words without losing clarity. Experiment with lowering your voice just enough to feel natural but distinct. Notice how your conversations change when you own the pace and tone. Pay attention to the subtle shifts in her behavior, the way she leans in, the quiet moments that feel charged with meaning, and the ease with which she listens. These are signs that your deeper, slower voice is working its magic. Now I want to turn it over to you. Have you ever noticed how your tone and pace affect the people around you? Maybe you've experienced moments when speaking slower made your connection stronger, or perhaps you're curious to try it out. Share your stories and thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might inspire others to tap into this timeless secret, embracing the calm, magnetic power that comes from speaking with presence and purpose. Together, let's explore how this old Stoic wisdom can transform not just your relationships, but your life. Now, comment to remember. I speak with calm confidence and command respect. 3. You stay relaxed when she's emotional. When a woman's emotions start to rise, most men instinctively react the wrong way. They try to fix the situation, offer solutions, or even mirror her intensity, thinking that matching her energy shows empathy. But in reality, this approach almost always backfires and makes things worse. The truth is, what women really crave in those moments is not a man who tries to solve their feelings, but a man who remains unshaken and calm, like a steady rock in the midst of a storm. You become that anchor she can cling to when her emotions swirl wildly around her. You don't rush to interrupt or dismiss what she's feeling, nor do you get caught up in the chaos. Instead, you stay grounded and composed, absorbing the emotional heat without reacting impulsively or defensively. Maybe you give a small nod, a subtle look, or simply maintain a calm silence, but your presence alone sends a powerful message that you are solid and dependable. This steadiness is exactly what drives her wild in the most profound way, because women don't want a man to fix their feelings. They want a man who won't drown in them, who won't be swept away by the tides of emotion, but who can hold space and allow those feelings to flow without judgment or fear. This kind of calm, confident presence taps into an ancient Stoic wisdom, one that our ancestors understood deeply. In a world where storms of emotion can seem overwhelming, the ability to remain composed and steady is a rare and precious strength. It's the wisdom of the old Stoics who knew that true power doesn't come from reacting wildly, but from mastering oneself in the face of turmoil. In today's fast-paced, emotionally charged environment, this trait stands out because it provides safety and reassurance. She feels safe with you, not because you solve her problems, but because you create a calm space where she can be herself fully and vulnerably without fear of losing you or being judged. That safety becomes a magnet, something that turns her on a deep, instinctual level. It's the same safety a child feels when held in the arms of a strong parent, the same safety a woman instinctively seeks in her partner. So the next time she's emotional, remember that your greatest strength lies not in words or actions, but in your ability to stay relaxed and steady. Don't try to fix her feelings or talk her down from her emotional wave. Simply be the rock she can lean on. When you do this, you not only help her navigate her emotions, but also reveal the most masculine version of yourself. The man who can hold space without losing his center, the man who commands respect through calmness and quiet confidence. This isn't just an old lesson from Stoic philosophy. It's a modern survival skill for relationships, where emotional intelligence and stability are more valuable than ever. By mastering this, you'll deepen your connection with her, build trust that lasts, and ignite a passion rooted in safety and strength. This is the secret many men overlook, but it's the one that truly makes you stand out as a leader, a partner, and a man who understands what women secretly crave. 2. You mirror her without realizing it. You mirror her without even realizing it. This truth is buried deep in our biology, a phenomenon called limbic resonance, where two people unconsciously sync their movements, their rhythms, their very energy without any effort or strategy. She crosses her legs, and moments later, you find yourself doing the same. You lean in slightly, and she matches you instinctively. This isn't some pickup line or a calculated move. It's a natural dance that only those truly in tune with themselves and others can achieve. It's raw, primal, and powerful. When you embody this connection authentically, something profound happens in her mind. Her brain sends a signal. I feel safe. I feel seen. I feel drawn in. This is the silent language of attraction that transcends words, tricks, or gimmicks. A language most men never learn to speak because they get lost in trying too hard or playing roles. But here's the truth that every man aged 35 to 70 must understand. True connection is not manufactured. It is earned through presence and authenticity. Marcus Aurelius taught us that the soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts, and when your body and mind align naturally with hers, you dye her soul with trust, desire, and a magnetic pull that's impossible to resist. This is the modern man's edge in a world filled with distractions, where attention is the currency and genuine connection is the rarest treasure. While many chase with words and tactics, you command through presence and energy. You don't try to impress, you simply are. And in that simple being, you unlock a powerful force, a silent sync that flips her "I want him" switch faster than any line ever could. This is the power of limbic resonance, a deep, instinctive connection that tells her you're safe, worthy, and desirable, all without uttering a single word. It's not magic, it's mastery of self and others combined, an old Stoic wisdom that has survived centuries because it works. In modern life, this is your secret weapon, cutting through the noise, the superficial, and the chaos. This wisdom calls you to step up, to be the man who leads not by control, but by connection. Don't fake it, don't force it. Watch her, feel her rhythm, match it. Let your body speak a conversation only the heart can hear. This silent conversation is where trust is built, attraction grows, and desire ignites like a wildfire. The strongest men understand this deeply. They don't chase, they draw. They don't perform, they resonate. This is the distinction between the boys and the men, the fleeting and the lasting, the surface and the soul. This is the power every man can wield today, a power that transforms relationships, commands respect, and creates intimacy on a level few ever reach. So, if you're ready to break free from the traps of shallow games and become a man who naturally commands presence and desire, start now. Like this message if you're ready to own this power. Comment "I'm in" to declare you're done with distractions and ready to master the art of connection that changes everything. Subscribe for more insights that sharpen your edge and elevate your life. Remember, this is your moment to rise, to claim the silent power that turns simple mirroring into irresistible attraction. Don't wait. Own it, embody it, and watch how your world transforms. 1. You know how to do nothing and let her come to you. You know how to do nothing and let her come to you. This is the ultimate, almost legendary move that most men fail to master because it demands patience, restraint, and a fearless mindset that doesn't crave instant victory. Imagine you're out together, chatting effortlessly. The energy between you is smooth and light, yet instead of pushing the conversation forward aggressively, trying to escalate or control the moment, you simply lean back and wait. At first, she might grow restless, even fidgety, testing the waters by tossing out a question just to draw you back in, steering the topic to see if you're truly engaged. She looks for reasons to linger, signaling her growing investment. Why does this subtle dance work so well? Because you're not rushing to close the deal or force a reaction. You're inviting her to lean in and invest her own energy and attention. And that shift in dynamic transforms everything. When a woman feels compelled to engage, to chase your attention because it's not being handed to her, you instantly become the prize, the mystery, the man who isn't chasing but is quietly confident in his place. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And here mastery is shown through calm patience, allowing the natural flow to emerge without force. In real life, this means men should practice restraint, not just in dating, but in relationships, and even in their daily interactions, letting others show their true interest instead of dominating or pushing too hard. This kind of quiet confidence makes you magnetic because it honors her autonomy and your own self-worth simultaneously. It's a subtle art, requiring you to sit comfortably with uncertainty and trust that if she's genuinely interested, she'll show it on her own terms. Reflect on moments when you felt truly wanted, not because you begged or pushed, but because someone sought you out willingly. That feeling of being genuinely valued is unforgettable. So next time you're with a woman, try this. Resist the urge to fill the silence or steer every conversation. Let her come to you. You'll find the connection deepens when she's invited to invest, creating a powerful bond built on mutual desire and respect rather than pressure. I'd love to hear your experiences. Have you tried this approach, or do you find it challenging to hold back and wait? Share your thoughts below, and let's explore how mastering this ancient wisdom can transform modern relationships. These behaviors aren't just casual actions or habits. They are primal signals rooted deep in human nature, ancient instincts that resonate powerfully with women, even when you're completely unaware of the effect you're having. Imagine that you're unknowingly tapping into something timeless, like a silent language your body and mind are speaking without your conscious permission, and this language is speaking directly to a woman's subconscious desires. If you're already exhibiting even half of these traits naturally, you might be igniting a spark of attraction and intrigue that goes beyond words or obvious gestures, making women respond to you in ways you've never quite understood. It's like old Stoic wisdom meeting modern relationships. These aren't just random quirks, but fundamental truths about masculinity that have been passed down through generations, refined by the challenges and triumphs of life itself. Have you ever noticed a woman acting differently around you without you knowing exactly why? Perhaps she's more engaged, more curious, or just subtly drawn in by your presence, and yet you're left wondering what invisible thread you pulled. This kind of silent chemistry is the essence of what I'm talking about, the invisible dance of attraction where your demeanor, confidence, and natural behavior all send signals that align perfectly with what women secretly crave. It's not about overt displays or trying too hard. It's about embodying qualities that come from genuine self-awareness and strength. These primal signals operate beneath the surface of everyday interactions, and when you understand and harness them, you transform how women perceive and respond to you in ways that feel natural, effortless, and deeply magnetic. In today's world, where distractions abound and genuine connection is often buried under layers of noise and social media facades, tuning into these primal signals can be your secret advantage. The wisdom of the ancients reminds us that authenticity and quiet confidence outshine flashy attempts at attraction every time. If you're curious and ready to unlock this hidden code of masculine allure, pay attention to the subtle ways you carry yourself, the calm assurance, the steady gaze, the way you listen without rushing to speak. These old Stoic principles aren't just philosophical musings, they're practical tools you can apply in modern life to deepen relationships and foster real connection. I invite you to reflect on moments when a woman's behavior caught you off guard, and consider how your own natural qualities played a role. Share your stories below. I genuinely want to hear how these hidden dynamics have shown up in your life. If this insight resonates with you, don't hesitate to like and subscribe for more, because mastering these timeless truths can truly change your approach to relationships and attraction in ways you never imagined.